Today we are taking a road trip. Gonna do a surprise garden. Let's go. Hi everyone, I'm Michelle, and today we are not in my meadow. We are over at Mom's. We're still in zone 9A in Northeast Florida, but I have a surprise for her. I mean, technically it's not a surprise because she picked it out, but I'm surprising her this morning by getting it put together and installed with some plants. A few weeks ago, the Vevor Corporation reached out to me and asked if I would like to review any of their products for my channel. So I brought the list to Mom and I said, hey Mom, we're going to do another review video. What would you like? And she picked this. So today we're going to get this inspected, unboxed, assembled, and we're even going to put some plants in there. First thing I like to do whenever I am getting a package like this now is just take a look. Do we have any damage in shipping? A little dent there, but that's okay. The box itself looks like it's in great shape. It delivered well. So now we're going to open it up and see what's inside. Included in the box are the instructions for the raised bed with trellis, the casters, because this one rolls around, the screws, the bolts, some support plates, and they've even included the tools. And of course, the bed itself. The bottom of the bed, part of the trellis, the top of the trellis, and the front and side. And while I did receive this garden bed for free, my review is going to be mine. I told them in the email, I said, look, if you don't want an honest review, then don't send this to me. And they sent it and they wanted an honest review. So I'm going to give you my first impressions now that everything is unpacked. Whenever you're looking at anything that's constructed of wood and stuff you got to put together, usually your first impression can tell you, boy, is this going to be all right, or is there going to be something kind of weird with it? I have to say, initial thought are it feels very sturdy. The thickness of the wood is a little more substantial than I expected. The lattice is framed inside there like that. I'll have to get the instructions to see how they go together. The little side pieces are already pre-assembled. So basically it looks like this is just going to be a screw it all together kind of a garden bed. But these pieces feel nice. It's a nice wood. It's not super thick, but for something like this, I don't think it's bad. A little bit of a crack there, but you know, that can happen on wood, especially on thin pieces. But that is not going to affect the bed being assembled. That's just a corner where they go together. Here's the bottom half of the trellis. It feels better, honestly, than I expected it for being a little wood put together yourself bed. And it has some cute decorative little features here. All right, let's get the instructions and take a look. This is what it should look like when we're completed. This is the Vevor Raised Bed with Trellis HL75156. Now to check off that all my parts are included. Yep. Screws and hardware. And now let's go ahead and start putting this bottom together here. When you start assembling it, you want to make sure that that lip is facing the inside on all the pieces because the bottom of the bed will lay on that. So on this one, it's this way. Right hand side, the front, and for the back. So we're going to put those sides together and put the screws in to hold the sides together. Since I really enjoy doing a lot of these projects myself but need an extra hand, I brought some clamps along today to hold it all together while I put in the screws. And a small thing, this was tied to the garden bed. So should something happen in shipping and the box get torn, this would have stayed with the garden bed. And I appreciate that. I order a lot of stuff online and a lot of companies don't think that through. Now this is using a bolt system and there's a receiving place within the bed here. So I'm not just driving directly in the wood. There's actually another little metal receiver. And making sure that this lip's facing the inside. Sure that lip's facing down. 3/4 of the way there on the bottom. Since the body's facing up, I got that last lip and I'm facing it to the inside. Loosen up this other side just a little bit. Just didn't line it up right. Remember, y'all, I'm an imperfect gardener. I just keep learning and trying. I try not to let stuff I don't know get in the way of doing stuff I want to learn. So I'm always learning something new about assembling, trying to make things better. That clamp, that was a nice little helper right there. Yes, I could have set this on the floor to do it, but honestly, when you're trying to make a video like this, trying to get up and down off the floor is a pain, for me anyway. So I try to do things that make my life easier. All right, now we're gonna flip it over and drop the bottom bed in. Though, I might skip ahead, because it doesn't have you, oh, it has you put the casters in last. But I gotta tell you, while I've got it upside down, I'm going to go ahead and put the casters on. I'm skipping ahead in the instructions. Here's another little gotcha that might get you. There's 2 locking casters and 2 rolling casters. You want to put the 2 locking casters on one side and the regular rolling casters on the other. You want them on the same end of the bed for the locks. It has this little wrench, but I think for the most part I'll be able to just screw it in like this, and then when it gets down close I'll use the wrench to finish it. Again, non-locking, so I'm going to put a non-locking on this side. These little tools would be nicer if they had a little bit longer handle to work with, but it's not bad. Just from an ease standpoint, you know. You don't need to over tighten this, just get it tight. That one I dropped in the sand, that sounds terrible. Let's see if I can blow that. So tip, don't drop the ball bearings into the sand. I'm going to lock them before I turn them over so it doesn't roll on me. That's locked. I can go ahead and take this clamp off. We'll go ahead and put the bottom in. Ta-da! The little trick with the lips I learned about when we were putting those cat houses together on the porch at our house, because we put it together backwards the first time. So I've learned a little bit about these drop-in floors. Now all we need to do is get that trellis on top and finish filling it in. It uses these plates to hold it together and some little wood screws there. I'm going to use another clamp to help be my helping hand. And even though they included a screwdriver, I think it'll be a little faster for me if I use my little mini power drill. Put that down to low setting. You want to line that up so that you are gapping both parts here. I'm just eyeballing it. To sort of center the split between these 2 pieces. Now, it did not ask me to pre-drill the holes. Let me double check my instructions. Doesn't say anything about pre-drilling holes, so we're just gonna screw this in and see what happens. And I'm going slowly on purpose as not to crack the wood or strip the screw. All right, there's the first one. With great power comes great responsibility. I have been known in the past to just let it rip, but I am learning because that's what I try to do. I try to learn. And then I end up with stripped screws. If the garden teaches me anything, it's patience and pace. Hey, that might be another good video. Not bad. I might try to tighten those up just a little bit more. All right, now let's get the other side. I just realized, you guys probably saw it on the camera and you're probably screaming at me right now, but I forgot to put the other bolts in the front there. That's hilarious. I'll do that here in just a second. I'm certainly not undoing all of this just to make that right. It's an easy fix right here. Woohoo. All right, let's fix my little screw, my unscrew up here. That would have been a lot easier if I'd done that while I had it turned upside down. Let's see if I can turn this gently. So I see what I'm doing here. We'll do the same for the other side. All right. Let's get some up-close views. So all the pieces went together very nicely. It was easy to assemble. Frankly, a little easier than I expected. Basically, 4 bolts on each end here, and then 4 wood screws along with a tie-in plate to bond the bottom to the top. Now, this is a small garden bed. This is a lightweight trellis. Anytime you're looking at lattice like this is not meant to hang heavy things on, but we are gonna plant some cucumbers in here today and let them grow up. And in another video, I'll show you how they did. But overall, I got the wheels locked. The locking wheels work. I have to say, this is pretty darn cute. Pretty darn cute. And as you can see how the bright sun comes in here, this patio will be a perfect place for the plants, and then she could always turn it around if she wanted to enjoy it with the flowers on the inside. Now we're gonna fill it up. I have organic raised bed mix. I brought my gloves. I've got my garden tools that Mom gave me for Christmas. We're gonna be using some coarse perlite, so of course I have my mask. I got the first little bit of soil in there. Let's mix in some perlite. And yes, I sound a little funnier because I'm wearing my mask. Better to mix this before I put it in, but here we are, just making it work. Got some cucumbers to take advantage of this trellis here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and put this whole 4-pack in here. It'll make it look really lovely. And if it turns out there are too many, we can always clip some off. The soil I'm using already includes some earthworm castings, so for this initial planting, I'm not adding any additional things to the soil. But we're gonna start fertilizing it up right away. Let's add some marigolds to the front. Nice little balance of color there. right, let's give everything a nice little watering in. One little thing I did right, but I wasn't paying attention, is I made sure I had the little branding label facing the front. Of course, you can always turn that around and face the back if you don't want to show that in your little garden bed. So now let's give it a couple of tests. How does it do if I roll it now that it's full of soil? It rolls just fine, and this way we could face it out, and when it fills in, there's a nice little privacy screen here, but frankly it can just face toward the patio. I think that'll be a nice little surprise for Mom to wake up to this morning, and every morning after this. Little cute flowers, got some cucumber growing on this very easy to assemble Vevor raised garden bed with trellis. In fact, boy, this is wide enough here. Maybe we got room for one more. I'll have to check that out. Hey Mom, what do you think?
Oh wow, those look good. Thank you.
You are welcome. Enjoy. I look like we may have room for two over there. I'll have to check that out. All right. Enjoy. Well, my friends, that was really easy to put together. My first impressions are it's going to be a nice garden bed. It'll probably last a few years. It's made of wood and it's a fairly lightweight garden bed, but it looks really cute. I know it's going to make Mom really, really happy. Now, Vevor also offered me a coupon code to share with you, so I'll be sure to include that in a comment below and I'll pin it, as well as put it on the screen right here. If you like this content, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want me to show you Mom's small garden that she's growing in the back, let me know that down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to come back and shoot a little garden tour of what's growing on for Mom. She's a lot neater and a lot more organized than I am in a really small space. It's pretty neat to see. Until next time, my friends, remember to drink plenty of water, wear that high quality sunscreen, and as always, have a fantastic day. And one quick editor's note. After completing the assembly and seeing the quality, I decided to become an affiliate for Vevor, which means when you click the link, it will help support this channel at no additional cost to you, and I look forward to showcasing some of their other garden products too. Thank you for supporting the channel.